Hello and welcome to this week's webinar. My name's Nathan Batchelor and I'll be your host for today. So before I begin, I'm just going to read through this disclaimer. Please feel free to read along as well. Beyond Trader LLC is strictly a research publishing firm. The information we publish is based on our opinions plus our quantitative models, statistical and financial data and independent research. This service is not registered with any financial regulatory agency such as the SEC or any other organization or governmental body. By using our platform or our services, you acknowledge that we do not provide personalized recommendation or advice. Alternative asset classes are volatile investments and carry significant risk. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions. Okay, so on this week's agenda, I'm going to be discussing our flagship indicators, and I'm going to be starting it off with Biyond Atlas. So as you can see on our dashboard here, we've got an overview of the market, and we can see here that Biyond Atlas is around 99.77, and it's ticked higher by about 6 points. And you can see Vanguard on the 1 day and the 3 day, things are looking a bit shaky, and on the 1 week, it's still blue. However, we have got a weekly close coming up, and I'm going to be discussing that more in a moment. But before we get that, I'm going to shift gears and start to Atlas, and we can see what's been going on there. So at the moment, it looks like Biyond Atlas is going to move towards the 100 marker, as I've been saying for a number of weeks. And the 100 marker is the bullish bearish momentum marker. So ideally, all the time that this indicator is trading below 100, there's still a strong chance that we're going to reverse, as happened many times. And it's kind of a key area for Atlas to watch. So we've been gradually moving higher in Atlas towards that 100 level, but the point gains each day haven't been that much. And I guess the beauty about Atlas this week is that price has been moving lower, and because Atlas has been moving higher, it's been making us very cautious. We haven't been entering into any short-term positions because we want to see if we want to initiate a long position in a bull trend. Ideally, we need to see Atlas starting to turn lower. And what I'm going to suggest we're going to see is that we're probably going to see a test of the 100 mark, maybe some type of a bottom in Bitcoin, and then a reversal. It looks very similar to what happened. If you have a look at 2020, in 2020, we moved into the red zone after we briefly crashed, after setting a reasonable high, and then after that we moved back briefly into the green zone. We moved towards the 100 mark, moved back towards the green zone, had a fake move, and then we moved back into the green zone. And when we moved into the green zone, things really accelerated for Bitcoin, and obviously we broke above 20,000, and it generated just a huge buy signal for us. So it looks very similar now in terms of we're moving back towards that 100 marker after staging a fake move into the green zone. Obviously, Bitcoin has reversed. The key issue here is whether we're going to move towards the red zone and reverse, or whether we're going to hit that 100 marker reverse. So that could have implications for Bitcoin, whether we stay above the 100,000 level and reverse from 100 next week, or whether we drop into the 90s. Hence, we're going to have that much steeper move into the red zone, and then we're going to start reverse. So heads up, I guess, moving into next week, and obviously it'll give us some strong clues about what Bitcoin is going to do. Obviously, I'll be writing about that in my daily newsletter, and you can see with the 99.77 reading and the 6-point increase, we're moving very close to that 100 marker. I also want to discuss Biyond Vanguard. Basically, as you know, we've got a system on TradingView, which is our Vanguard 2.0 model, and this tracks the real-time closes. And we can see already that the weekly, if we close underneath the 105 level, is going to close in orange. So that's really important for us, because when we start to see shifts into the orange region, historically, if we pull up the weekly chart, it's not been a good time for Bitcoin. So you can see after the election pump, we started to get that orange signal, and then we moved much lower, even though it doesn't show it here because we've got the 1.0 model. But if you have a look at the 2.0 model on TradingView, it started to turn orange. And if we get an orange closing on there, it could foreshadow a much deeper drop into that kind of zone that we don't want it to go into, you know, the 90 to 80,000. So as things stand, it does look like we're going to get that drop again. The war news and the geopolitical news is going to dictate, but I just wanted to give you a heads up that it doesn't look great moving into next week in terms of Vanguard, if we are to base that on a pure signal alone. Moving on to the long V short indicator, you can see it's making higher highs there, and the price is gravitating lower. So if you didn't know, we need to see a wholesale short bias and this making lower lows, obviously, in order for the crowd to be short. And we want, once the crowd starts to have a wholesale short bias, we tend to see these over exaggerated moves to the upside. So we want to see this trending lower, and we want to see a wholesale short bias in the market. So that's kind of what we're seeing moving into next week. All eyes on Atlas, and unfortunately, unless we move above the 105 level, Vanguard is going to be kind of generating a move to cash signal, which is orange. So obviously red is a complete sell signal, but the orange move that we're expecting on the weekly is letting you know that you probably should move into cash because things are going to get worse. So let's hope that's not the case and Atlas starts to turn, but interesting information nevertheless. So with that said, I will see you again next Sunday, and this is our quant indicator update. Thank you very much.